Super by Matthew Cody, chapter 25. Grounded. Daniel had escaped a pair of super-powered bullies and a cave full of shadow monsters, only to be trapped in his living room by his parents. This was bad. This wasn't a go-to-your-room kind of grounding. It was a total surveillance, we won't let you out of our sight kind of grounding. Daniel's father, his mother, and Georgie sat on the couch watching Daniel squirm. Lit by one of his Graham's old candelabras, they looked like some kind of medieval inquisition waiting to pass judgment. Where had he been for the last several hours? Why was he a dirty mess? Where were his friends? And didn't he know that with the blackout their parents would be worried? Daniel and his friends had disappeared like this before, last year in fact. And although they'd been saving the town's children from the shroud, they hadn't been able to tell their parents that. That night had led to long, long punishments and deep suspicions. Do you know what a recidivist is? Daniel's father kept asking. Dad, I can't stand here and it's the term they use for a criminal who cannot stop committing crimes. It's a repeat offender. Dad, let him talk. Where were you, Daniel? Daniel's in big trouble, said Georgie. Daniel swallowed. He needed to think carefully about how to answer. His friends were still out there. The shades were out there. But his panicking would just make him look more guilty than he already did. He needed to calmly and rationally explain to his parents where he'd been and why he'd been acting so secretive lately. In short, he needed to come up with a whopper of a lie. He needed something that would get him off the hook, at least temporarily. If they sent him to his room, he might be able to sneak out the window and deal with the consequences later. He'd be grounded for life this time, but that was a small price to pay. As it was, he was worried about making it through the night. Daniel delivered the biggest, bald-faced lie he could think of. I've got a girlfriend, he said. It had the desired effect. His father looked like he was going to say something, but his mouth just opened and closed without any sound coming out. It was as if he'd forgotten the important part of talking. Daniel's mother looked equally shocked, but she handled herself much better. She hadn't lost the ability to produce language. Oh, well, what's her name? Her name? Now it was Daniel's turn to be speechless. He hadn't thought that far. Should he make up a name? He quickly scanned his brain for every girl's name he could think of, but his mind was a blank. What were girls called? All he needed was a name. Why was that so hard? Louisa, he said. He blurted the word so quickly that even he surprised himself. But the moment he said it, there was a muffled little squeal from the empty air. Daniel bit his lip so hard, he brought tears to his eyes. What was that? His father asked. I didn't hear anything, Daniel answered quickly. Louisa, that's the nice girl with the little sister Rose, right? Rosie, right? Rose, Daniel said, correcting her before the empty air had a chance to. Yeah, but Louisa's my girlfriend. We were hanging out with Rohan and Molly and everyone, and I guess we lost track of time. When we got back, it was already dark and the lights were out everywhere, so I walked her and Rose home. Daniel put on what he hoped was the most earnest, truly repentant face. I know I was late. I snuck in the back. I'm really sorry. And who were you talking to? I heard voices. That was Louisa. Louisa, I thought you said you walked her home. Well, I did. Then she walked me home. I mean, we both walked her little sister home. Then Louisa walked with me back here. Daniel, said his mother, standing over him with her hands on her hips. Did you let that nice girl walk home alone? In the dark? Daniel's torture had been interrupted as the room lit up with the bright glare of a car's headlights pulling into their driveway. Peeking through the window, Daniel recognized the sleek sports car silhouette. Theo. Daniel's mother beat Daniel to the front door. Well, wait, Mom. It's my friend Theo. Theo? The boy from the car accident? But there were headlights. Did he drive here? Daniel stopped mid-step. Even in the darkened house, Daniel recognized that look. Her shoulders stiffened. This was bad. Did he drive over here? Did he dare drive here in a car? Mom, Daniel tried to think of an excuse, but his voice sounded weak and pathetic in his own ears. How could Theo have been so stupid to park in their driveway? There was a knock on the door. His mom unlocked the door and swung it open. How dare you? Oh, it wasn't Theo at all. Involuntarily, Daniel took a step backward, clutching the backpack close to his chest. Sitting in the doorway was Herman Plunkett, looking considerably healthier than before. He was straight backed and his mean eyes shone in the dark. The green glowing pendant still hung about his neck, letting off trailing wisps of light. Mrs. Corrigan, I've come for Daniel. He has something that belongs to me, and I'd appreciate it if you'd kindly step aside and allow me to reclaim what is mine. I'd hate to see anyone else get hurt.